What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And with this video, we are jumping into the War for EARTH-3. This will be issue number 1 of 2, but it will be playing out in multiple other lines as well. More specifically, it will be playing out in Suicide Squad. This is what everything has been building up to. This is going to be the grand finale for our Infinite Frontier Suicide Squad, finally bringing everything around and bringing it to a close. What we are seeing is the future begin to unfold, because in Future State we saw Amanda Waller. She took over EARTH-3. She imprisoned the Crime Syndicate, and she used her own Justice League, taking control and protecting EARTH-3 from the rest of the multiverse. And while that is the Future State story that we were told, and it looks like it might be heading in that direction, there are definitely some alterations. To get yourself completely caught up on everything that has been going on, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to take you to a playlist that'll get you completely caught up on this entire storyline as we come to the climax. Be sure to buy the comics, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this very limited series, we are picking up on EARTH-3, and we have Ultraman and Power Ring. They are both sitting here being celebrated. The entirety of the Crime Syndicate are being celebrated for 10 years of being in control, 10 years of tyrannical dictatorship. And the truth of the matter is that Ultraman, he is tired of all of this. The day in, day out of government diplomacy and trying to keep a society running is not really what he signed up for, because what he wanted was to feel like a god. He wanted to be worshipped. And so, finding himself just completely bored, he burns this place down to the ground, incinerating everyone and everything around him. He takes off, and right now, downtown Metropolis, they have a portal opening up, and we see an entire army coming out of the gateway. And this army, it is being led by Amanda Waller. This is the army that she has amassed over this entire time, having Bloodsport go from multiverse to multiverse, grabbing individuals, using Lazarus resin to bring some of them back to life. She has an entire army of villains and individuals spanning all of time, and they all have one goal in mind. They are taking EARTH-3, with Match aka Superboy not really wanting to play ball. We see Etrigan the Brainiac 666 use some magic on him and turns him more or less into freaking Grundy. And so, as if this wasn't a spectacle enough, Amanda Waller taps into every satellite, puts her face on every screen, and lets it be known that they are here to liberate. And that once everything is said and done, you won't have to worry. Your world, your Earth will be safe. But today, it is going to come with great violence. And so with all of this currently going on, Ultraman, he doesn't find himself concerned with that. His eyes are on Gotham City. And that is because right now, Superwoman, she is finding herself entertained by Owlman. And Superwoman, she is doing this just to get under the skin of Ultraman, just to make him mad, to see his temper rise. This is all but a game to her, with Power Ring trying to let him know what is going on down in the city. Ultraman, he cares not. Going and heading straight for Gotham, he tells Power Ring to go deal with Amanda Waller and whatever it is on his own. And so Power Ring going in, he doesn't hold back any punches. And honestly, this is just a bloodbath. Power Ring is just mowing through all kinds of heroes, vigilantes, and anti-heroes alike, ripping through the entire army that Amanda Waller has. This is something Amanda Waller, she anticipated. She knew exactly what she was going up against. She knew exactly what the odds would be. And for Power Ring, she brought a secret weapon. And from behind Power Ring, we see Black Hand. And with a single touch, we see Power Ring, he is brought down to his knees. With one member of the Crime Syndicate taken down, Amanda Waller asks, who is next? And that is what takes us to the Owl Cave. With Ultraman coming in, crashing this party, he rips the ceiling right off of this nest. And he lets both of them know that he has had enough, destroying much of Owlman's equipment to include his Owlmobile. Superwoman can't help but just laugh her face off, because this is exactly what she wanted. She wanted to get under his skin, she wanted to make him mad, she loves making him tick. Amanda Waller coming through their audio, popping up on the television screen, because the Power Ring had given her the address, or more or less the phone call frequency, to get in communication with them. And she is just letting them know that Power Ring has been taken down, with Ultraman and Superwoman still not really caring about this situation. They go ahead and they send in Owlman. Let him handle this, because he should be competent enough to take care of whatever threat this is. And so, sending him in, we see him come flying in on his owl ship. And again, we see somebody who is just massacring the army of Amanda Waller. And that is a reason that Amanda Waller had brought so many individuals. They are all disposable, all people that she is more than willing to throw away for her end goal. And with Siren knocking Owlman out of the sky, he comes crashing down, and he finishes them off. Amanda Waller now having Owlman and Power Ring captured. We pick back up with Superwoman and Ultraman. And Ultraman is really just telling Superwoman that you need to stop all of these games, because one day I'm not gonna stop myself. One day, eventually, I'm just gonna rip you in half. And this doesn't stop her from teasing him. This doesn't stop her from wanting to continue this little game that she plays with him. But before the two of them can get really hostile about this argument, we have Amanda Waller chiming in yet again, letting Ultraman and Superwoman know that they now have two members of theirs tied up. And this situation, it does kind of make Superwoman mad, because Superwoman, she is very egotistical and territorial. While she may toy with Owlman and Ultraman, at the end of the day, she believes that they are only hers to toy with. And so Amanda Waller having Owlman tied up, it absolutely infuriates her. Now, taking us away from EARTH-3 just for a second, we are picking up on EARTH-0, and we have Rick Flag and his Suicide Squad. Now, Rick Flag, he has tasked himself with taking down Amanda Waller, believing that she has gone too far, with the entire US government after her, every agency trying to hunt her down. Rick Flag has taken it upon himself to create his own Suicide Squad and go after her. The only problem, they ended up face to face with a Clayface kaiju, and we last left off with the team. They were in absolute distress, and that has not changed. Their only weapon truly being Zod. He is what is able to break them away. They're not able to defeat Clayface. He is simply trying to get them out of his grasp. And Rick Flag, he was supposed to have some backup. That backup was supposed to come in the form of Dr. Rodriguez. And right now, Dr. Rodriguez, she is trying to get in communication with him, but things are just too crazy. They are too hectic. And so, as a last resort, we see her inject herself with a serum. Supposedly, it is supposed to give her powers. And as she goes to run off, we see her begin to turn into sand, with Rick Flag and his Suicide Squad quickly recognizing that they can't beat Clayface. The only thing they can do is maybe banish him to the Phantom Zone. With Zod opening up a portal, we see the Phantom Zone, it begins to suck everything in. And as the Clayface kaiju begins to go in, so does Cheetah, so does Zod. And as all of them begin to fly into the Phantom Zone, we see Clayface randomly drop out of the sky. Maybe being too big, it doesn't really go into detail on why Clayface wasn't sucked into the Phantom Zone. We just see the portal close up, and then Bloodsport, Peacemaker, and Rick Flag are face to face with our kaiju. And that is what's going to take us back to EARTH-3, floating above the city, believing that Owlman and Power Ring were competent enough to take care of Amanda Waller. They are quickly recognizing that is not the case. And so, with Superwoman and Ultraman charging into battle, we have Match, who goes toe-to-toe with Superwoman, grabbing a hold of her and launching her into the sky. Match's only job is to keep Superwoman busy, to keep her preoccupied, with Ultraman down on the ground just wasting people, burning them alive, because they wanted Ultraman. Amanda Waller called him out, and so he is here. But as Ultraman is trying to kill Amanda Waller, he is unable to hit her, not understanding what is going on, almost as if these are mirages. One second she is here, the next she's 100 yards away. But after a couple of times of doing this is when Ultraman recognizes that there is a speedster in the midst. That speedster is the one and only Johnny Quick. Now we know that Johnny Quick, he died. We saw his death, and Ultraman, he buried him. So the question now stands, how are you alive right before me? But Johnny Quick tries to tell him that it does make sense. All of this is going to make sense if you just hear Amanda Waller out. And as we head back to EARTH-0, our Suicide Squad are still entangled with Clayface. Their only saving grace just happens to be Dr. Rodriguez, with her coming in looking like Sandman from Marvel. 20 stories tall herself, she goes in and she hugs Clayface, embracing him and bringing him into her arms. She calms him down, she relaxes him. Like a giant terrified baby, we see Clayface go into dormancy. Dr. Rodriguez essentially babied him to sleep. And so now with their Clayface problem being taken care of, and Dr. Rodriguez now really having abilities and powers, we pick back up on EARTH-3, the conversation between Amanda Waller and Ultraman. And Amanda Waller lets him know that she doesn't think he wants to rule this world. Not really. He wants the respect. He wants the spoils of war, but he doesn't want to deal with policy. He doesn't want to deal with law enforcement. Governing, she says, is truly beneath him, but it is not beneath her. And she's not here to trick him. She's not here to try and take his power, feeding his ego, saying that there is no way she could ever do this. At the end of the day, he is a god. There is no way that she could ever control him. Not with any army, no matter the case. And what she does want is his distractions, all of his frustrations, the things that he doesn't want to deal with on a day in, day out basis. She wants to take all of the grunt work. This world, it will belong to Ultraman, but he can be a god and not a king, and let Amanda Waller handle all of the rest. For example, this is where she has Talon grab hold of Owlman, grabbing him, putting him above his head. He brings him down at the snap of Amanda Waller's fingers. And we hear the crunch. We see the break as Owlman is almost broken in two. This is Amanda Waller proving that she is a problem solver for Ultraman and not a nuisance. This is something that Ultraman always wanted to do, but didn't want the others to turn on him. But with Amanda Waller taking the blame, it can all be focused on her. And our other Suicide Squad, run by Rick Flag on EARTH-0, now out of the grasp of Clayface. It is time that they made their move, ready to do whatever it takes. We see them open up a gateway, and what is remaining of this Suicide Squad, they charge headfirst into EARTH-3. What they did not expect to see is Amanda Waller standing directly in front of them, and behind her is her brand new Justice League. And that will be the end of this issue. And this story will be continuing in Suicide Squad issue number 13. So when I put up that video, make sure that you check it out so you get all of this story. And I think this was a lot of fun. This definitely took us in a different direction than Future State. In this story, Amanda Waller, what she wants to do is more or less work under Ultraman. And she wants to be the ruler of Earth-3, or at least second in command, if you will. She wants to take care of the day-to-day. She wants all the power. She wants all of the responsibility, while Ultraman, he sits there upon his throne in the heavens, in the clouds, like the god that he is. Now, me personally, I think Amanda Waller still has some tricks up her sleeve. This is just her way of really getting Ultraman to let his guard down. And that's when she's gonna take her opportunity. When Ultraman least expects it, she is going to do her best to imprison these guys. I have no doubt about that. Because Amanda Waller, she didn't go through all of this trouble just to be under the thumb of a crazed Superman. She didn't go through all of this effort just to be someone's puppet. And after everything we have seen her do, there is no way you are gonna have me believing that she is just going to listen to Ultraman and have no problem with that. She literally amassed a giant army and headed directly for Earth-3, risking everything, taking from everyone. But there is no question about it. Whatever happens in the aftermath of this, Earth-3 will never be the same again. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.